So Tiffany Haddish is a fantastic guest to have on a podcast. She's full of energy, a lot of funny stories, laughing all the time. And one of the highlights, I mean, she will, in this podcast, break it down moment by moment, what happened when she was arrested for being asleep, I think in her Tesla or something. So I'd only anecdotally heard that. And the real story you'll get to hear on this podcast about what happened. And it's completely innocent. It's not what you think it is. So that's something to stay tuned for.
It's a big story that got out there. And then, she doesn't really talk about it, but she did talk about it. She was a lot of fun. I've known her here and there throughout the years. And we asked her about Girls Trip and how it sort of catapulted her to the next level of fame, which is a weird thing for people. And she will explain why it's weird. A lot of people don't know it. They just say it's weird, but getting famous quickly, more rapidly is very hard.
Yes. And suddenly you're getting money. And again, you just learn, you need to learn early on the difference between what you're told, like the gross amount and the net amount. It's not a complaint. It's just a reality.
Oh, we did talk about
kind of takes your breath away. And then also where she lives and where just a lot of people are interested in maybe getting a loan and stuff like that. She talks all about personal stuff. She's just she's very open about her life, and it's
very likable, very full of
very funny. Yeah,
we laughed a lot. I will say we did laugh a lot. She did crack me up, and I'm glad she did it. We just I haven't seen her much lately, and it was just a great. Sometimes these are just good 1 hour hangouts with people, and we hope you like hanging out the way we did.
Yes, I was so punchy toward the end that everything she said started to make me laugh. It's just she was just struck me as a very funny person. And the first time I worked with her before she made it big, I thought, damn, she should be a star.
Yeah. Well, you talked about it. She opened for you somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So here she is, Tiffany Haddish.
Can I tell a nice Tiffany Haddish story right now?
Yeah, we're going.
It's only 20 seconds. So we're doing The Secret Life of Pets, whatever, promoting it. We're going to watch a preview or something. So I'm there with family and my wife's nieces, and her one niece sees Tiffany and flips out, like starstruck. Can't believe it that she's there. And then my wife just sort of mentioned it, Tiffany, and Tiffany came over and gave Audrey, we have a picture of it, this gigantic bear hug. And it really is an indelible memory. And it was so cool to hear about that.
Does not shock me.
It was nice. It was just when you hear stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Anyway, that's my Tiffany Haddish story.
Good story. I'm so trying to hook these AirPods up to this damn computer. And
she's traumatized by this situation because
you have to do technical.
I like when people like to hear this part because stars are just like us.
You're a star.
I am? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I guess we all.
People know who you are. They even know who you are in Africa, bro.
Really?
Babe, yes. You are huge in Cameroon. Huge.
Is there a funny bone down there? I'll go down there and play.
Not that I know of.
Oh, I don't know where to do stand up down there, but I'll go. I don't go anywhere unless I'm famous. There's no way. Why would I go? But the name of my special should be They're Just Like Us.
They're just like us. They're just like us.
How about I'm Just Like You?
I know, but that doesn't really hit the ear.
Well, it's a little yeah.
Because in Us magazine, they always say, Tiffany Haddish was buying grocery. They're just like us. I'm like, well, yeah, that's what we all do.
Do you remember the song Too Legit to Quit?
Yes, Too Legit to Quit.
Who did that?
Hey.
Too legit.
Too legit.
So what can't you do? Now I know you can sing.
That's hammer.
I know you can.
You didn't know I have songs that are out. Like I'm streaming on Spotify and Apple.
All right, let's start with that. We got our research. They didn't mention it. So what are you, I mean, I could tell just by you doing that, you could sing.
Well, I'm glad you could tell.
How do your songs come about? Do you sit with someone and write them? Do you write them yourself in your head? How are you?
Well, I just recently released a song with Diane Warren. Her and I, we sat and rewrote 3 songs. She did most of the writing. I gave her the premise and what I want the songs to be about and why I want to make these types of songs. And so we got one that just came out called Woman Up, which I really think Kamala should have used in her campaign, but whatever. And then
the campaign's still early. So she listens to this podcast.
I'm sure she does.
Well, Kamala needs to use the song Woman Up. It's a great song. Up. That's inspiring, not just for women, but for men as well. You know, you can't just be sitting in the bed and being all depressed and sad. You have to get up and get things done.
I'm always telling Dana to woman up.
Well, man up's been around quite a while. And
let's get woman up.
It was about time. Man up, woman up, and what would be the trifecta?
And listen,
Human up.
Diane Warren is a huge one of the best songwriters of all time.
Brilliant. So she's sitting at the piano. You're sitting with her?
No, it was just us in the studio, just having conversations. Okay. And then I came back like 2 days later, and she had 3 songs for me. One called Woman Up, another one called You're So Fucking Beautiful, and then another one called I Want You, But I Want You Gone.
Ooh.
I like that. Can I ask you a question? Did she have a melody track that you sang to, or did she have a scratch track, or you just started? How did you?
Oh, well, when I came in the studio, she did have a scratch track, like a sample of the song.
Okay. Does she want to hear you sing it all first? Just say, what do you got?
No, she didn't do that to me.
She didn't? How does she know you're any good though?
Probably because she came to some of my comedy shows, and much like you guys, I sing sometimes in my show.
Just little bits like, hey audience, how you doing? I can sing. I can't sing.
I'll just randomly go like, this is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. I'll do that one, or I'll hit them with Skinnamarink dinky dink, Skinnamarink doo. I love you.
Oh, you can hold that note.
Skinnamarink doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. And I love you in the evening underneath the moon. So, Skinnamarink dinky dink, Skinnamarink doo. I love you. See you next time. I love you too.
Boop.
Boop, boopy-doo.
Boopy-doo. Oh,
wow.
That's like my closer a little bit.
Yeah, that's like 1930s kind of feel to it, or 50s.
Well, it was from 1980 something, 1970 from the Elephant Show.
Is it a real song?
Yeah, it's a real theme song to a TV show that I used to watch as a kid. And my mom said that was our family theme song. And if somebody was to come pick us up from school, they have to sing that song.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Go home with them.
Great idea.
Our family theme song was "You're a Loser." No, whatever.
My mom said, if anyone picks you up,
baby,
just go with them.
Now, our other family theme song is "You Can't Win Now, You Can't Break Even, and You Can't Get Out of the Game." You guys know that one?
No.
Is it famous?
So you never saw The Wiz?
Oh, The Wiz.
Oh.
We just had Bowen Yang on, who's in the movie, isn't he? No,
he's in the new one with Ariana Grande.
Wicked. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about The Wiz, the black.
With Michael Jackson.
Yes. And that's Michael Jackson's song that he sang.
Yes. Who else was in that?
Diana Ross.
and who else? Okay.
Nipsey
James.
Russell.
Nipsey Russell. Yeah.
Or Nipsey
Yeah.
Hussle.
He was great.
No, Nipsey
Great-
Russell, not Hustle. That's a
Great,
friend of mine.
great stand-up.
Oh, he's a friend of mine. Yeah, Nipsey
Back in
Russell.
the day.
I used to laugh at Nipsey Russell on Match Game or something. He'd say poems for answers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roses are red.
Yeah,
Wasn't
he
quite
played
that
the
extreme.
Tin Man in that. And then
He did?
Jones was in it, and Richard Pryor was in The Wiz.
Oh, that's right.
Richard Pryor was the wizard.
You know,
That's a good
Dick
one.
Pryor, the thing about Dick Pryor.
Oh, he did a movie with him.
I did do a movie.
He's buddies with him.
I did a movie with Dick. And the thing about Dickie Pryor, it's called Moving, late '80s, and he's moving his family across. And I'm going to drive his car, and I'm a schizophrenic, so I got to hang out with him. And the director said, Richard he's not into it today. You know, can you get him going? So I've only been at SNL 1 year. I'm like, I got to get Richard going. So I was trying to get him
Best
going.
comedian of all time.
To wake him up, you know, and then but he was so sweet.
Tiffany, I auditioned for Moving and didn't get it. And I was living in a house where Dana was living at the same house too. I was renting a room and I was like, hey, good for you. You know,
I didn't know you auditioned for that part.
Yeah, Dana. I was trying to get your scraps.
Okay. So Tiffany, how are you finding stand-up? Now, I just saw that you are on tour.
Yep.
Stand-up always evolves. It always changes as the person changes. So what is it like now when you come out and they go crazy? Mm-hmm. And then what are you feeling when you're out there now?
I always feel like when they go crazy, when I come on stage, it's wild because I still remember 8 years ago when it would just be like 5 people that go crazy because that's the kind of following I had. Like, but the room would still be full, but it would be 5 people that know me, you know. Now everybody kind of knows who Tiffany Haddish is, and they're like going bananas. I want to cry. I always feel the urge to cry, sweet. And then I say something kind of like wild to them so that I don't cry.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
then
really nice.
Sometimes they'll keep clapping, and I'm like, stop it! I'm gonna cry, guys. Because I believe crying is a removal of old beliefs and a replacement of new ones. And I always feel like the audience is gonna hate my guts before I get on stage. And then it's like once my first foot touches the stage, then it's like that doesn't matter anymore.
Do you feel any pressure though? Because I'll give you an example. If I'm trying to go to just a club to drop in and I just barely have notes, I'm working out, and ladies and gentlemen, you better fasten your comedy safety belts. Here she comes. You know, it's like there's Tiffany Haddish. You know, it's just like it feels like a lot of pressure. The bigger the room, you know, till you get the first laugh.
It's the small rooms that feel like a lot of pressure. It's the rooms that you pop in and there's like 6 people there. That feels like a lot of pressure. Feels like direct judgment. Because you can literally have a conversation with each one of those people in the room.
Well, it's very there's something to those little small rooms, and a lot of comics are on the road doing theaters. But there's definitely something different about when you see their eyes and they're right up close, and it's just that casual. You can talk to them like you're just talking at dinner, and you're all just kind of a little group. And you're just you can be so casual. And the big ones, you have to sort of put on a show. You have to play to this side and make sure they all hear you and enunciate, make sure that it's a little tougher. It's great.
And the movements have to be bigger. Like, you know, like I make a lot of facial expressions when I talk. I think that's where a lot of my comedy lies. Like I might say one word, but the face that I make that goes with it is like, oh, that sells it, right? You're in one of those big old theaters, and if they got like a whack ass camera, or if there's no
video
footage at all, then you got to make it bigger. I'm like, oh, I'm making wrinkles trying to perform for fucking people.
Yeah.
This mistake I made the last special I did, I worked it out in clubs, and then I was in a big theater, and there were no screens or anything. And it was very different. The bits I was working out in clubs were very, very small, little stories and stuff. So, But it's fun to strut on a stage. I mean, Chris Rock is obviously the best at it as far as the physical movement back and forth. But yeah, it's a completely different sport than a little club.
Very different sport.
When you were doing like stand up, and then you get something like Girls Trip, which is a big thing in your career. What is the change? Walk us through the change. Like that comes out, obviously it's a big hit. You're a hit in a hit. What kind of are the things that you notice?
I immediately noticed that people that told me that I wasn't going to be anything, that, I should give up. You should just maybe get into modeling or get pregnant by a rich man and just give up on this. Were instantly like, I believed in you the whole time. I knew you could do it. And I'm just looking at them like, do they think I have amnesia? Do you think I forgot what you said to me?
And you get offers and you get more attention.
More offers, more attention, more free stuff.
Phone rings, more free stuff.
My bills are bigger. I noticed my bills are bigger. Things that were like so cheap, like a plumber. The plumber comes to my house. I have a leak. It costs $150 to fix. Now the plumber comes to my house. It's like, just need to change the washer on the dang sink faucet, and that's $500. What?
Yeah, we need to change your washer and dryer because of your
person
sink.
Price kind of.
Yeah, it is kind of that.
And then I'm like, okay, so like I only keep pictures of myself in like this room, right? Everything else is like in a box, in a closet, like away. Because if I have someone coming over to do some work, I don't even be here. I have my assistant in here, make it like it's my assistant's house, and it's so that I could get the regular price.
The real price.
Smart.
Yeah, because I still live in South Central LA. I still live in a little, 2,000 square foot house. Like I'm not doing it super big or anything.
That's cool.
I live modestly. I spend most of my clothes.
When stuff like that happens. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Dana. I was saying when stuff like that happens and you do well, I think people think they hand you $1 million the next day. You still have to. You do get offers, but then you have to go do them. Then you have to get paid. Then you get whomped with taxes. Then you get agent manager. People forget like it's really hard to build a ton of money. It takes a while.
The gross and the net. And just by the way, what you can talk to is your monologue was hilarious. I looked at it today when you hosted SNL, which you got the Emmy for, was all around this idea that everyone assumed soon as Girls Trip hit, you got 20 million in the bank,
Yeah.
So.
I was paid the least amount out of the girls, right? Because I was the most unknown. And I didn't start seeing no real money till maybe a year or two after it came out. Maybe a year and a half after it came out. That I started making real money. And like I did the Night School movie, and they're like, they're going to pay you $1 million. I'm like, yeah, awesome. This is great. And I'm thinking, $1 million. But like you said, taxes hit, and I don't got no kids, right? Then representative fees that hit. And that's like bananas. Then, the parents fee, clothing. So I do these appearances or these interviews, and they don't pay you to do the interviews or anything, but you have to buy clothes, you got to pay for makeup and hair and all that. And by the time I'm paying for everything, the stylist, all that, I got like maybe 250,000 left. And then I have black tax. And I don't know if you guys know what that is.
I don't.
Nope. I want to hear though. There's some special black tax.
They be saying, "Oh, black women are so mad." We not mad, or they be like, "They impatient." We not impatient. We the most patient. It takes hours. This hairdo took, hours.
Looks great.
Hours. I was very patient. Black tax though is when family members reach out to you for money, and they expect you to give it to them because we come from the same uterus, or we have the same grandma, or we was in the same foster home, so you should give me this money.
Or the same town.
We're in the same town.
Doesn't take much.
When I was homeless, didn't have nowhere to sleep, no nothing. You wasn't checking for me.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up like on the Carmichael show that they started like checking for me. Like, how you doing? What's going on? Kid, I hold 500. I need a whole 500. And then you like feel a little guilty. And you're like, yeah, here goes $500.
Right.
I'm gonna pay.
You don't want to big time them.
When I get my taxes, I'm paid back. They never pay you back. And then
also they're getting they're getting it clean. Like if you gave someone $5,000, that you probably have to make 20 to clear 5, and they don't sit. So you're basically giving them 20, and then they get a tax-free 5. And more than that, I've been hit up obviously from all sides, and they don't. No one thinks of that.
How do you handle it? How do you?
I didn't handle it well. I have a lot of wisdom now. I think what you're talking about is really good. The thing that I learned, if you systemically give someone a check and they're healthy and young and can work, and you're systemically trying to help them make it, or whatever, will always write them a check the rest of your life. I think that in show business, you want to be a little greedy with your money, because you want to get to a point where, say 10 years from now, you can choose the way you want to work. And that, to get net dollars saved, I know we know these are first world problems, anyone listening, but it's personal what we do. And so you don't want to have to do a diaper commercial at 60 if you can help it. So it takes a long time to get a big pile of money where you get to be free from in show business. All right. There's my 2 cents. So be careful.
I do the same thing. I think there's part of you that doesn't want people to be mad at you. There's part of you that you don't want them to think you're big timing them. And it's not that much in quotes. And if you could just, but you feel like you start buying friendships stuff. It's all bad, I remember one time we were out with, I had a famous friend, and he was going to dinner. We got in an argument. And of course I said the meanest thing. It was his birthday. He was yelling at me, and I go, well, I wanted to be the actual friend at your party, but have a good time at dinner with your agent, publicist, manager, lawyer, and your whole team. You know what I mean? And it makes you think and go, they all had to go, because it's his party and they got to show up once in a while. And I was just voluntarily going until we got an argument about it. But that was a mean thing to say. But that same thing reversed with me. Like, you have your friends and you don't know who's, so you feel dumb. Family members, my dad, it's one of those where I don't know your family situation, but my dad was deadbeat dad. And then he come buzzing around. And then of course I bought him a condo. Like, it is just something you just go, I want you around. I'm going to give you money to be around, basically. So weird.
It's really weird. I spent a lot of money making sure my mom is okay. I got her out. Like, that was one of my main.
That's okay. Yeah.
I took care of my parents.
That's what I do. Yeah.
That's different.
Make sure she got out of that mental institution. I get her the best doctors, the best food, everything. Right. And she's doing great. And that's when oh yeah, I'm glad I have this money. And I've spent crazy amount of money, nurses and all that. And when my grandmother, she did so much for me growing up that I'm like, I got to do everything for her. It's been $2 million trying to keep her alive. And I probably was making it worse for her. Like, I probably should just let her go the way she.
I know. I've been there and done that. The numbers sound very familiar. I don't know where you're at of any sort of pinching yourself or any. I wouldn't use the word guilt, or because there's hard knocks in your time on. And so you're still in touch with that. I can tell completely. So just as your friend on the outside, just make sure you take care of yourself.
Yeah. So now, when people ask me for money, I tell them, look, I really value our friendship. I really value our relationship. And I can give you this money. Now, you're saying you're going to pay me back. You probably want. They're like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay. I'm going to give you this money. Okay. And if you don't pay me back by my birthday, then I've decided that we are no longer friends. We're no longer in a relationship.
Big responsibility. Yeah. Do they want to take that on?
And if you want to take this money, you value this money more than you value our friendship. I completely understand. 9 times out of 10, they always say, no, thank you. I'll get back to you if I really, really need it. Because they know they're not going to pay me back.
Yeah.
Chris Rock always says, "Be my friend," than it is for me to go away. I paid you to.
He told me if they ask for 10, give them 5. They always pad in a skateboard and something else if they want.
Well, this one relative asked me, they asked me for $25,000. I was like, what? You never even made that in a freaking you want 25,000? They're like, yeah, I need 25,000. I'm like, okay, wait, I just spent all this money to make sure our grandma get it. What do you need $25,000 for? They're like, I want to start a taco truck. I get a top. I'm like, but you can't even cook. You can't even cook. Yeah, I'm gonna just get some Mexicans over by the Home Depot. They can cook, and we're gonna have a taco truck, and I'll get you your money back within 2 months. I'm like,
2 months.
bullshit. Long-standing restaurants, sometimes that are established for years, almost 7-10 years, are making $2,500 a month clearing.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Like,
it's
please,
so hard.
Please miss me with the
please.
Well, that's good. You're doing good, and you're still out on the road. Is stand-up still your favorite thing, or you still
it is always going to be my favorite thing. It will always be. I can't go more than 3 weeks without doing stand-up and not start having like mental issues.
Yeah,
I have to get on stage.
It's fun to get up and do a set, especially if you live in LA. You can. That's what scares me. People go, "Why don't you move here? The taxes are so bad." I go, I like LA, and I like that I have a few friends here, and I like hanging out in the hall at the Comedy Store. I like just seeing a few comics, and then you can pop on and buff out stuff, and you feel, because if you have a gig coming up where people are paying money, you want to be good, and you're like, God, I'm starting to get scared to go on again because I just need to go on and feel it again, just to feel it, just to get the organization, because I owe these people, and it's fun anyway. Think of a new joke is fun. Everything's fun.
Whenever I'm stressed out, I head right to the comedy club. Even if I'm in another place, I'm like, where do they do comedy here? When I was in Africa, I was just in Africa, and I'm like, oh, it's too much time is going by. Where can I do some comedy at here? Is there comedy here in Africa? They're like, there's a restaurant that you could go to that might have it. I go to this restaurant, and they don't even have like a real stage. It's like 4 benches pushed together in a boombox with a microphone. And I'm like, give it to me.
How fun. How fun. It's like karaoke, basically.
Yeah, how long were you in Africa? Was this a month-long thing?
I was there for a month. Yeah, I was there for a whole month. And I went to 3 different countries. And I went to go to all countries that had their independence. Countries that were...
What are they, Dana? Go ahead. Chad.
Tanzania? No.
Morocco. Is that one of them?
I didn't go there, but I believe they have their independence.
I'm trying to just name countries because I saw this on TikTok and people couldn't name any.
I'm just into world-class distance runners. It would be Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania.
Wrong. Go ahead.
Wrong.
Look at Tiffany just staring. Nope.
I have a friend from Cameroon.
They definitely don't have their independence in Cameroon.
I don't even.
It is crazy in Cameroon right now. Like,
I hear about Cameroon in the Olympics. That's about it.
Right.
Okay. Well, South Africa has their independence.
Okay, it's kind of a trick question. Okay.
Assume so. They were owned by the Dutch.
Oh, Zimbabwe, you said? Okay.
Zimbabwe has their independence. And you're right about Tanzania. Zambia. Yeah.
Dana knew something about the Dutch.
Yes.
So the Dutch had it, and then
my father-in-law was Dutch, and he felt bad about some of Dutch colonialism. So I remember him talking about it. Anyway.
Yeah. They told me, like, it's funny because I went to Israel this year. This year's been a year for travel for me. And I wanted to travel because I want to see more of the world. And I want to have like better understanding of the articles I read and the things that I see. And also, like, I've read the Bible, I've read the Quran, I've read the Torah. I've read all these books in like, where's the religious capital of the world? Israel. This crazy stuff is going on right now in Israel. Should I go? Shouldn't I go? But I've been trying to go for years, but I've been busy trying to, collect my acorns.
Learn.
So, I've been collecting acorns, collecting my money, stacking my money.
Yeah.
So I buy my ticket, I go. And although there was, there's this turmoil going on over there, at the same time, I think it was a perfect time to go because there was no lines. I got, people were coming up to me, happy to share information about the history of Israel. I learned so much. And then to see the things that I read about in these Bibles and the Torah and the Quran, and all, to see things in real life gave me a whole nother perspective and really has elevated my comedy. And my point of view on who I am as a person, who God is, and all of that. Like, yeah, it was really, I think anybody who believes in God should at least go to Israel one time.
It's crazy. That's so interesting you did that.
I think it's great you're doing it. I mean, you've established your career, and then why not do a few things like that?
You have an opportunity not many people have, and you take it.
Was it scary? I mean, flying into Israel, because I know people go on USO tours and they turn the lights off, go on at night, or they corkscrew down under enemy fire. It wasn't like that. So
yeah, I've done USO tours like in full war. There's full war going on. And I've done those tours, and like that was more scary because you could hear stuff from the airplane. You could hear like that was more scary.
Yeah.
Being on a big old commercial airline flying in was not scary. Going through the airport was beautiful. I was like, okay.
It's kind of pampered. You don't really, unless you know what's going on. If you were oblivious, you just think, I'm on a great plane. I'm on a great hotel.
Yeah, and you would think probably. Like, oh, wow, there's no lines here. Where, it's nice. Barely, there's traffic, but it's not LA traffic. It felt like I was in California. The weather felt like California weather.
Oh, really?
I found hot springs and like just all this beautiful stuff. Like, oh my God, I went to Massawa. I mean, not Massawa. Massawa's in Eritrea, which is also very freaking beautiful. And they have their independence. But I went to Masada. And I was like, is this where Jamie Masada got his name
from the Laugh Factory? Maybe.
Who I consider like a dad. And I had to hit him up, and he's like, oh, yes, I grew up around that area. And he was telling me all these stories. And I'm just like, well, I didn't even know you were from this part of the Middle East. I thought you were from another part, but okay. Like
crazy.
Did you travel with someone? I'm just curious.
I went by myself. And then
what? That's grown up.
That's very grown up.
I went all by myself. And when I got there, I met up with a few people that I knew. So like Michael Rappaport was there.
Oh, yeah.
So that was interesting.
It's fun hang, yeah, I'm sure.
My friend Matthew Siegel was there. And one of the guys from Cheaters was there. And we did some tours together, stuff I did by myself. I wanted to find Black people. That was my other mission. Like, where are all the Black people? I know it's got to be Black.
Where were they?
It's
in
hot.
Israel.
It got to be some Black people here. If Black people believe in Jesus, it got to be some Black people. So I found a bunch of the Ethiopian and Eritrean Jews. I hung out with them. And then I found the largest diaspora, the largest immigration of Black Americans anywhere in the world is in Israel, in Dimona. And I kept telling everybody, I want to go to Dimona. I want to go to, they're like, no, you shouldn't go to Dimona. Why would you want to go to Dimona? That's where they keep the secret weapons. The nuclear weapons are hidden in Dimona. And I'm like, I want to go there. I want to go to Dimona. Take me to Dimona. Take me to Dimona.
That sounds interesting.
I got them to take me to Dimona, and it felt like I was in the hood, but not in the hood. Because like they look like Black Americans. When they speak English, sound like Black Americans, but then they speak fluent Hebrew. And they're like all vegetarians. All of a sudden, like their kibbutz was like so beautiful and so dope, and I was just like, it made me so proud to be a human. It just made me proud to be a Black American Jew. It just made me so proud and happy.
Were you well known?
Oh yeah, I'm very famous.
Oh,
all around the world.
All around the world, internationally known. It's funny because I had prayed to God to, give me a way to show these studios that I am internationally known and I could be in a film that's for international purposes.
Right.
And because I was told I wasn't internationally known enough. And then I took a nap in Beverly Hills.
You took a nap in Beverly Hills? What?
Took a nap in a car in Beverly Hills. Police came.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. You took a nap in Beverly Hills.
That's right.
That sounds like a chapter of a book.
That probably got worldwide pickup.
Baby, I was so shocked.
I made it.
Full of it too. I was so shocked when I came home just a few hours later, how I was on KTLA, NBC, CBS, Fox, PBS, CNN.
Global.
I was on ESPN, I was like, ESPN, I'm not even an athlete. the, BBC World News. I'm like, like, this is kind of awesome, like, I prayed for a way to show the studios. I didn't know it was going to be like this, though. It was on African World News. And when I went to those places, when I went to Israel, when I went to Africa, everybody brought it up. Oh, so do you want alcohol? No? Are you good? Are you okay?
Do you want a car to sleep in?
Let's get her alcohol. I seen she fall asleep in car.
Oh, that's what you like.
Yes.
She likes vodka. We know you love vodka. You love vodka. We
love it so much. That's
then
all
you
we've
drive
read.
and fall asleep in car. We love everything about you, Miss Tiffany Haddish. No, I don't know what accent that is, but
sounds good.
What was that story? Do you want to tell it? All I know is the broad strokes. You fell asleep in a car and you're fine.
Yeah. So basically, I was serving food to the homeless all day at the Laugh Factory. Every year during Thanksgiving,
they do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I go. We served almost 3,000 people food and jokes. Performed on almost every show. Mm-hmm. And I left there. And that morning, I woke up at 6 a.m. and put a pot of collard greens on, like cooked this food for my family. Mm-hmm. And so I left from the Laugh Factory, went home, got the pot of collard greens, got the turkey, 2 turkeys, went to my family's house, served them. And then I got a call from a friend that lives in Beverly Hills in Bel Air. That the chef, they had to fire the chef, and the food is, they don't have any food. Do I have any leftovers? And I was like, let me check with my family. Everybody had made their Tupperware. And I was like, yeah, I got leftovers. They said, can you bring it? I said, I can't be there until like 10. They're like, fine. I brought leftovers. They ate it all. They were like, this is the best grease, the best turkey, best. And then I did have a drink or two. I had probably 2 drinks. Yeah. I finished one. I didn't finish the second one. I fell asleep on the couch because I was exhausted, right? That is being of service and I think you're
too much. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I woke up. Somebody was like, and this lady was like, you can sleep here.
Oh, she's doing something sexy.
And I was like, I'm leaving. You're not gonna have me in the news 10 years from now talking about something I feel violated and all that. Nope, I'm leaving. So I took some other people felt uncomfortable too. They wanted to leave too. So dropped them off at home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, a drop off?
Okay.
Oof. More
Drop
work.
some people off.
This is exactly what I thought would happen before this incident. Go ahead.
In my Tesla, put it on pilot because I knew I was tired. And the Tesla, the way it's set up, your eyes is closed. If your hands are off the steering wheel too long, it will pull over in such a way to get you help because it thinks that you have, something's wrong.
Incident. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it pulls over. So it parked perpendicular to the sidewalk as opposed to parallel, and had my ass out in the street. Wasn't at a light or anything like that. And I had been there for quite some time because the car had turned off. The police thought I was dead in the car because I was like this. Like leaned over. Like they said I was slumped over the steering wheel. To me, that means you like you leaned over.
Yeah.
I was just sitting and my head was down. Mm-hmm. And they thought I was dead because I didn't respond to them knocking on the window or whatever. And so the ambulance was there. And I heard them talking. Oh, and the talking, I opened my eyes and looked over and they were like, oh shit, she's alive.
How scary people are just there. You don't even know where you are.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh damn. And then I thought that was another prayer being answered because I had prayed to God to send me a handsome man with his own career that, I didn't have to be like, that he could tell me interesting stories. So I'm thinking, this is God sending me my prayers. And they started asking me questions about drinking. And I was just like, you know what? Like, just take me to the police station. Let's just go to the police station. Because that's what I've learned, blowing that breathalyzer. Don't do BJs in the streets. So.
I'm sorry, what?
What? So your prayers were answered because the arresting officer was very handsome? Is that what you meant? I'm sorry, did I miss that? Oh.
Yeah.
So you wanted to hang out.
So was the EMTs that, took my vitals and said my blood pressure was normal. I was like, good. I've been working on that. That's great. Okay. I got a physical. I got an $1,800 physical and, thousands of dollars in some community service on, letting these studios know that I'm internationally known.
Yeah, nice.
Was this ever really explained in the media, what you just told us?
No, that I blew a .03, no.
Yeah, and then you were just purely exhausted. You were in an AI car that assisted you. Yeah.
That saved my life, that potentially saved my life.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Tesla or whatever, but I appreciate and I'm grateful that car exists.
What it's trying to do. Yeah, it's a good, I like that.
You blew a .03.
That's not illegal,
That's like
is it?
one drink. That's totally legal. .08.
What is it? .08? Yeah. Used to be one.
And .08 is not, you're not slurring or falling down.
I wasn't slurring then either.
No. And yet it went global. What was the headline that did it? Were you like shocked? Yeah. What did it say?
Tiffany arrested for another DUI. And the first DUI, which I want a hearing for, I want a trial. I want a trial because I was walking into my house.
Oh.
But weed is illegal.
Weed is?
Illegal.
Isn't weed legal?
And not in Georgia.
Oh. Just wait long enough till weed's illegal everywhere and then go to trial. Weed is really doesn't hit the ear as something scary anymore. It's like people just go, huh? We do have bigger fish to fry these days.
No, even Trump wants it to be legal for personal use in Florida.
I think tobacco should be illegal. That kills more people.
That's the one that, if we're really getting into it. It's true.
As far as mind-altering substances, there's nothing even close to cannabis. It's the most benign by a millionfold. No one's ever overdosed on cannabis.
When Snoop's president, it'll change.
Yeah.
Snoop. Yeah. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
That's my family right there. I love Snoop. I got 3 songs with him.
Really?
No, maybe
Look
it's
at you and your.
Maybe it's 2.
No, it's 2.
Well, it didn't surprise me when they put him in the Olympics. When I heard they're going to put Snoop there, I go, he's going to own the Olympics because there's something about him that everyone loves him. It's just I don't know what he just is.
He is a fun guy.
He's just likable. Just I don't know. You just want to hang out with him. Put it that way.
What about we got to let you go in a second, but this last OG.
I'm here for it. We can hang out, guys. I have
nothing else to do.
We have a question for you. I just want to hear about Tracy Morgan because he's so funny. And that show,
the OG.
What was that? Oh, TBS,
the
right?
Last OG on TBS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had to be kind of fun to work with, right?
Didn't you work with him?
We were not the same overlapping years. I just know him a little bit.
I hosted it when he was there, and he's a character.
Yeah,
Mr. D. He called me Mr. D. It's not getting easier, Mr. D. Not getting easier. And I did Oprah with him too. Yeah.
And did you guys have fun?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Chevy Chase and me, Tracy, Tina Fey.
This is before the accident.
Yes, but he had a kidney transplant or something, and they put it in the front. And he was patenting it. It's just an open book. He's just.
Did he tell you that it was his girlfriend's kidney? And then
I think so. Yeah. And he goes, "It's right here."
I think that's a jinx because that happened to George Lopez, right?
George took his wife's kidney, and then they got divorced.
It's bad when you say, "See you later, sucker."
I know.
I mean, it's a tough one because talk about a non-guilt-free divorce. I mean, sheesh.
You just go to the doctor. Did it take? Yes, it's good. I'm fine. I got to make a call.
It's over. Babe, we've been having problems.
So are you actively?
I enjoyed working on it. I learned a lot about myself working on that show because I was mostly the straight man. So that being the straight man.
You the straight man. It's interesting.
I was a straight man. And it was not the easiest because I want to crack jokes.
It's hard. I did it in the wrong Missy. It's a little difficult.
Be boring, Tiffany, and just do what they write. Just do what they write. And then I would say after like 3 or 4 episodes, I was like, oh, okay, I got the hang of this. I can do straight man stuff.
Yeah. Straight man is valuable.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. Well, anyway, they cast you and whatever. It seems like they're wasting a whole quadrant of ability,
Yeah, you got a lot. You got a lot of.
It's very rare. A lot of people can act.
Yeah, but you know how this world is. Like, it's.
They just want you.
It's well, also just like, it's not my show. It was his show. So it's for him to shine. It's for him to be funny.
Right.
I am just a little squiggly line in the drawing,
Did they ever say these words? The name of the show is The Tracy Morgan Show.
No.
It's not The Tiffany Haddish Show.
No.
I've had
They never had
versions of that along my career.
They never had he might have said it, but they didn't. Remember, you're on my show, okay? All right. My show, Tracy Morgan show. We're gonna get Emmys. All right. Just while we're doing this for the Emmys.
Well,
and behave yourself or I'll get you pregnant, okay? I could get you pregnant.
That's a good threat.
Behave yourself or I'll get you pregnant. That's a comedy album or something.
No, he didn't say it like that, but he did used to joke about getting me pregnant, and I used to laugh and be like, your son is more my speed.
Oh.
His son was like 30, 32.
Oh.
30.
Hot.
Mm-hmm.
He's all right.
All right. Don't give away your cards. But I think TBS in their head is like, we have Tracy. If we could get Tracy and Tiffany, it's just more potent. It's a great poster. It's great. And it's not a bad gig and blah, blah. So yeah, I've done a million things like that where sometimes you're the one they're writing for, sometimes you're not, but just one more thing along the way.
I am fine with being the not funny person in something. I mean, according to the internet or to some people's opinion, she's just a pretty girl that's loud.
I love it.
That's fine. And I just don't know how many female comics have done what I've done.
You've done a lot.
Who just that
you're batting her eyes.
When you're a little girl, who are you watching and seeing that inspires you?
I'm watching Whoopi Goldberg, who I used to think was my actual birth mother, and she just crazy lady.
Whoopi,
because she has to live for the purpose of making people laugh, and she's going to come back and get me.
Mm-hmm.
Lucille Ball was my favorite to watch. Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett, Thea Vidal, Marshall Warfield.
I worked with her a lot. I did a comedy competition with her in San Francisco, which she won, by the way.
Of course she did. She's hilarious.
She is a force of nature and brilliantly funny. Yeah.
Very funny. And and then there's the George Carlins. There's a lot of men that I watched, but for women, that was like my thing. Christina Applegate was so funny to me. Like,
oh wow, that's true.
Married with Children.
Yes, I had to make sure I watched Married with Children.
Oh, that's great. She'd love to hear that.
Because I was like, I have to learn how to be that girl because I am that girl. Like I'm not the smartest girl. So I got to learn how to be that and still get what I want.
Yeah. Also, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter Was Dead was a great, funny, weird movie. When she was on, we talked about that, right, Dana?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and as someone said the other day, they watched it with their kids and they were like, oh, we won't be watching this with the kids because you forget some of those old movies like that are so raunchy because there was no PC police and it just would kill. And then you go later, oh, take that out.
Yeah, that's not politically correct anymore.
No, on reruns.
How comedy doesn't live forever. Like the Three Stooges was so funny to me. I used to definitely beat up my sister, not on purpose. We were playing Stooges. But if you watch that, if you put that on now, people be like, "Oh no, that's teaching the kids how to hurt each other. That's violence," and and I'm like, no, it's white on white crime. I'm learning.
The big thing is you say, our kids so much better now. They've had 30 years to change everything. Is it way better now? I don't think so. It's all just different.
They're even more violent. They're doing
we didn't have Call of Duty. How about that?
More violent.
We didn't practice gunning people down.
Shootings when I was a kid.
Right.
In the 1900s, there weren't school shootings. There might have been a shooting down the street from the school.
There was fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
old-fashioned
really hard
fights.
to be a young person.
When you talk bad about somebody, you had to watch your mouth because when they say, don't let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cash.
That's right.
And you used to be able
I
to
would tell people
somebody
that.
ass for talking crazy to you. Now, somebody talk crazy to you, you hit them first, or they hit you and you beat their ass down to the ground. Now you sued. And you going
Yeah. Yep. Oh, anyone's ready to sue anyone for anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This lady wanted to sue me, said I was stealing her life.
Well, that's a tough one to prove.
That's a new one, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's a new one.
The theft of my client's life by one Tiffany Haddish.
She stole my life. She stole everything. Everything that Tiffany Haddish has been through, she stole that from me. She making it. I'm like, well, here's my social worker if you want to talk to her and all my foster care.
Here's
and
my
you know
files.
what? If you want to catch those rapes that I caught, you can catch those. You can have those too. Also, you can have all these miscarriages.
You click every box.
You can have all this shit. Every time a man ever hit me in the face, you can have that. You can have everything. You can have all of that. And the good. Take it all.
The reason we're laughing
maybe not
is
the exact same. Yeah.
Tiffany is pulling things up and doing
She's
an act out.
acting it out.
We're not laughing at the idea of it, but I just feel when I.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is just audio. My bad.
You're just.
Oh
but
no,
it is funny.
It's fine. But you seem. Well, I found this interesting. You do a special. It's called She Ready. Then you produce one with other comedians called They Ready. I mean, who does that?
Okay, wait. The first special was She Ready from the Hood to Hollywood.
I know but then when I saw it on the thing, they truncated it and I wrote it down that way. But I know it was From the Hood to Hollywood was the full thing.
Yes,
that was
the next one was They Ready.
Yes.
And what was the long version?
The longer version? No, there wasn't a longer version. It was just They Ready. Improper at its
I just want to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
So was that Tiffany Haddish Presents in a way, like creating
that
a platform?
was
for other people.
Showtime.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's,
It was Netflix. It wasn't Showtime. It was Netflix.
Yes.
And I did that. Yeah. And I did that because I wanted, I had a little juice, a little power. And, I just wanted for the people that looked out for me over the years.
Yeah.
I wanted them to have the opportunities I wish somebody would have gave any of us.
Just give me 5 on TV.
Totally.
So what's the point of building up all this notoriety and celebrity and prestige if you can't open a door to for others?
Help, yeah.
Pay it forward.
Some of those people, I slept on their couch, when I didn't have no money to pay like my rent or whatever, they helped me get gigs. Like, I'll never forget, do you guys know Elon Gold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very well. Yes.
And Elon told me in the beginning, like in the earlier stages of my career, he said, Tiffany, the only way that you will make a living in this business is by having good relationships with other comedians. Comedians will always keep you working. If you can call you keep good relationships, you can call any of those guys and go, hey man, I need to make some money. I'm having issues. Do you know of any shows going on? Like, can you link me up? Mm-hmm. And they will get you work. You will always work. And those comedians that aren't good, but they're good writers, they'll end up becoming writers or showrunners or, and if you have a good relationship, they'll be like, yo, we need to get you in there. And they get you in
there.
Yeah. I like your attitude just about the whole thing. It seems like you're really connected to your struggle and your journey. So you still feel very authentic. Sorry to use the word, like just in the moment. In other words, people might watch out for like, he or she, they're going to get a big head or they're going to be different. It's going to go to their head. I don't think it ever went to, comedy is so freaking hard at times, and show business in general beats the shit out of you. Even at any level, pretty much. I don't know who's had a free ride there. Do you read reviews of your movies and your performances, and do they affect you, or you don't read them, or if they're great?
I don't really read reviews because I don't think anybody even does reviews anymore. Do they? I don't know.
It must be social media, basically.
Yeah. So I read social media comments, and sometimes I get really upset with people because I'm just like, really? Like, why are you even following me if you feel this way about me? Like, why are you even here?
I've DM'd people back and said, you follow me. You look like an idiot.
Yeah.
You have all these complaints and you still follow me.
Yeah, weird. You're weird. Like, there was at one point in time I got really mad, and somebody that was obese had said something about me. And then they said that it looked like they said, oh, the way that I was acting is like I got that I must got some of that powdered sugar or powder, that cocaine powder on my
Pepsi.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so then I said, well, you need to put down the powdered donuts, you fat bitch. Like I just went the fuck in. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm from these streets. I was ready to fight her. I read that at like 2 a.m. And so I was like, in my mind, it is 1995 again, and you about to get roasted. You want to roast me? I'm about to roast your fat ass. And I just kind of went in. And I knew she was fat because I had did my research on her for about 45 minutes. And I knew she was on her weight loss journey. And I figured, fuck your journey, bitch.
Anything that ends with bitch is funny.
Did you get in trouble?
Journey bitch, fat bitch, with bitch.
Well, it's like someone saying it to your face. That's why it takes so personal. I get mad when they say it's like they read it to you and ran, and you're like, no, I'm going to come catch you.
Yeah. Like you think I'm not going to be on your shit? You want like you want my page?
No freebies.
On somebody else's page, on somebody else's thing, talking crazy. But you in my page, crazy. So then I had to sign it to. Did I get in trouble? No, because I went into my fake page. I went in that ass, and then I was like, if you keep fucking with Tiffany Haddish, somebody gonna show up on you.
Oh, good job.
Have you ever said "What's up, fuckface"?
No, I don't
on social media.
No, I don't say fuckface. I'm like, what's up, bitch?
You know, my last time I fought back, it wasn't quite as harsh. The guy, this guy said, I have a picture of me on stage and I have a coat on, and they go, why do you wear stand-up wearing a coat? And I go, really? Do you think anyone asked this question to Fonzie?
Well,
I cut deep.
I wish the viewers or the listeners could see Dana turn super red when I
I'm embarrassed.
The way I said bitch.
He likes it.
Well, there was a lot of oomph to it.
But the way you're giggling is like you felt like I was saying that to you.
Yes. Well, you hit it nice and crisp and hard.
You really nailed it. It's a good sharp.
Well,
yes,
it's my way. Also, sometimes I call people booger wolves. I'll be like, you an ugly ass booger wolf ass bitch. Booger wolf is my other favorite go-to.
Haven't heard that.
Is that yours, or is that a phrase that people use? Booger wolf.
It used to be really popular in the 80s.
It did.
Yeah. See, you guys aren't black, so you don't know this, but in the black community back in the 80s and 90s, booger wolf was the thing to call somebody, and it's like they're so ugly. Their attitude, their everything is so ugly that. There's like, they're like a wolf.
It's a hideous thing.
I go back to
coming out like
booger wolf.
You're a Fred Wolf.
I went back to Sammy Davis Jr. I think he would say, "What's up, Jive Turkey?"
Jive Turkey was
who said
real
Jive
cutting.
Turkey first.
I think JJ Walker.
Is Jive Turkey still around?
Good times.
No, but Wild Turkey is.
But let's bring back Jive Turkey.
Jive Turkey was only for like that's only like when you want to like make reference to an old uncle or something,
Yeah. He's a real jive. I've said Jive Turkey, not even joking, 3 times in the last 2 weeks. It's so funny to me. It's such a funny phrase.
It really is.
Yeah.
What is that? A turkey that dances?
I don't know.
I tried to invent a catchphase once.
Go ahead.
A non sequitur. One 4th grade, everything was like bitching. Bitching was up and all that. I started saying to all the kids, out of sight, man, that's out of sight. And it took me like a month, and everyone was saying, that's out of sight. Sorry.
You didn't start out of sight.
I started out of sight. 1965.
Tiffany, before I let you go, I want to say.
She ready.
She ready.
She ready.
Yeah, she ready.
You started blank, 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 bitch, whatever it is, end with bitch.
Booger wolf ass bitch.
Yeah.
Booger wolf ass bitch.
I met Tiffany
I'm just
with
getting
Fred
a
Wolf.
little punchy at this point.
Yeah.
But every time you say bitch, I'm going to laugh. I don't know. I'm just getting a little. Anyway, it's we have to read ads or something, but
yeah. Thank you, Tiffany, and thank you for talking to us. And you're so lovely. I like that you're doing all this stuff, and it just adds to your smarts. You're just someone going out there feeding their brain. It's very nice to hear that. It's something that people talk about doing or think about doing. Not everyone does it. I don't do
I
it.
want to evolve as a human. This is the only life I'm living, and I want to.
I know it's such a good, inspiring thing. I can't.
Well, it is great to have stand up as an outlet for that, because you've always done sort of you on stage and talked about you. So it's interesting to take all these lessons you're learning and experiences, and then make a kick-ass stand-up special and say, Dave Chappelle, follow that. And then
I would never say that to Dave Chappelle.
No, I know. I said it because he's the GOAT. That's why I used him, ironically. Do you remember, by the way, we met at this kind of corporate event we did at the Beverly Hilton?
Yeah, that was Casa LA.
Casa LA, and
it wasn't corporate. It was a foundation.
It was a charity. Charity, sorry, yes. But it was tables, and then you're going to open for me, and they said Tiffany Haddish. I said Tiffany Haddish, what? And then I went out and I said, I'm going to go look at my notes, because I knew then. I thought, I don't know if Star is Born or is that before Girls Trip, or you'd had acting jobs, but I didn't really understand. But yeah, you were a star.
Yeah, that was right before Girls Trip, and I had acting jobs. And all I did was talk about being in foster care.
Yes, that was the connection to it. It was personal for you, but it didn't surprise me later when, she's a star. I always go by people one metric is like who you wouldn't want to follow, Like I wouldn't want to follow Dave Chappelle. I wouldn't want to follow you. Some people go, I can handle
Dana.
that. Yeah.
Is that why you didn't take me on the road with you, Dana, when I asked you?
Did you ask me to go on the road? Because I don't really go on the road.
And you were like, you got really awkward and you turned red like right now and you kind of giggled.
Yeah.
And we'll look into it.
I remember that. And then I got you in a headlock and I was going, come on, bitch.
And then you got me a noogie. Yeah. We'll look into it, buddy.
He doesn't go on the road with me. He's the worst.
I like doing stand-up, but I don't like to travel. That's the problem.
No, that's the part that sucks. No, I'm working on that. I've been watching YouTube videos on how to manifest teleportation. So,
oh boy,
when I get that down, I'll be the GOAT for sure.
Yeah, tell us.
We will, when you can teleport yourself to someplace else on Earth, please come back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to teleport myself into your office right now.
Boing. Oh shit, I dream a genie. All right, Tiffany, we'll talk to you later. Thank you for doing it.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for the laughs. Be well.
Thanks for the laughs, honey. This has been a presentation of Audacy. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all the stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Audacy, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman.